What's up, peeps? So, happy 420, obviously, first and foremost. Secondly, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a sneak peek. Trying to turn the lights on there we go, on my TV thing off. I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek, a behind the scenes look of what the Lock of the Night operations normally look like when I'm doing my, pre-recorded videos and then when I'm doing my live streams. It's quite a small room, and you guys will get to see pretty much what my setup is. The reason I'm bringing it up right now is I sat down, put on my headphones, brought the mic up close to me, pulled it in like my mobile tray. It's like a tray stand type of thing. Pulled it up, and it's like being in an airplane, like a really shitty airplane where it's just like a screen in front of you, but you're like locked into position, and that's pretty much what I'm at. So I was just about to go live, and then I realized I didn't plug in my mixer. So I had to get my ass up, disassemble, get my ass up, go over and plug in the mixer, and then come back. Finally got my ass in here, so we're finally doing the stream. Yeah, so I might as well show you guys what it's like. The lights are pretty much all off, so I'm not sure how much you guys will be able to see, but this is pretty much what I'm working with. So I got my TV set up over there. I know that's a little bright for you guys. I got all the wires because it's like the mixer, the charger. There's a lot of wires with the setup, as you guys can assume. Then I got a couple artwork pieces from MMA History Today. I actually know the guys, solid guys, good guys. I went to high school with them. So they hooked me up. And then this way around, we got my UFC 113 poster. This is the first ever UFC event I went to, and it was big for me because Shogun was one of the few guys that got me into the MMA world. And then to see him beat Shogun the way that he did live for the first time ever, that shit was sick. It was in Montreal. We had to road trip out there. We got a house, me and a bunch of my friends in Montreal. It was fucking sick. And then I have the Nick Diaz MMA history poster up there. Got my boxing gloves sitting up there, hats, and then obviously I have my lights that I use when I'm not doing Locky Late Night. So there you go. A little bit of a backstage look at what Locke is looking at and what I'm dealing with when I'm in my studio area. So yeah, there you go. A 420 special. You guys get an inside look at pretty much where I spend 80% of my day. I'd say 80 to 85% of my day is spent in this room. But now it's starting to go down as I'm catching up to the events, not doing the 9 to 5 anymore. That Bellator UFC back-to-back days really fucked me up, I'll be honest. But tomorrow morning, I'm going to finish recording my pre-recorded Lockcast, have that out by the afternoon, and then start work on the next index, and then also get started on the following card, the Prohaska and Reyes card. I want to get that tape done by at least Friday and possibly create another multi-event parlay. I got one hopefully cashing this weekend if all the champions retain. That's going to be a sick parlay to hit. I'm sure the Patreon members will be happy about that one, at least the ones that took notice to it. And then there's a third one I believe I posted for them as well. And that one hinges on Strickland and Prohaska next week. So yeah, multi-event parlays are legit. We'll see. Maybe he gets upset this weekend, but it seems like a good thing to do over, a lot of people want that one night. Just, I'm going to hit a big long shot parlay, bang. They don't think about the future. Be a little bit patient. Parlay some lines together that you are very confident about. Give it a couple weeks. So that's kind of my approach now, along with the Lock of the Night style, which is bin money, right? Bin money, 9 event winning streak, absolutely killing it. Let's just look. Obviously, I'm up like way more than the units that I've tracked one because I had a lot of like personal plays too. But in terms of track, it's like, what is that? Six. Good amount, like 15 units or so, 14 units or so. I'm on a crazy run right now, especially with starting the year off minus 25 units. Oh, that was disgusting. But we're killing it now. And we're going to keep it this way. Let me get some more water and then I'll see what the chat is saying. Prefer not to talk too much about the fights. I mean, all week I'd talk about the fights. I'm down to talk the fights if that's what you guys want to do. I'm down to chill for the next little while. Enjoy the 420. I know it's 421 now, but didn't want to do it last night because I was trying to work. All right, let's see what you guys are saying in here. By the way, shout out to the interim view, I think, who apparently had a car accident or a motorcycle accident and is in the hospital currently and still enjoying 420. Shout out my guy, interim view. I think you're a newer viewer around here, but glad to have you hopping on. Viewers, thoughts on Triple Champ Parlay? Look, I pre-tape, I put all of them all on this long shot parlay of mine, which again, if they retain, big hit. I feel a little bit iffy about the Zhang and Rose fight. I feel that one's the closest. Odds obviously indicate that. Let's just say I'd feel much safer if I just had Usman and Shevchenko. Yeah, Luke Fulton, I believe talking about Zerong, whatever the guy's name is. I need to see these guys a little bit more in the UFC. Give me more against legitimate competition, and then I'll put money or chalk on these guys. I feel like I got a cough here shortly. Yeah, the throat's really feeling it after that one. All right. Viewers, I was looking at that too. I like Crude a lot in that. I do like Crude as well. I've always thought Smith overrated. Got the job done in some key matchups. Was never a solid guy. Fulton is correct. I believe the toss up on the card, and again, rightfully lined by the bookmakers, Weidman and a Hall. But it's starting to move to Weidman, minus 130 now. I said on the podcast earlier today, Hall by KO, plus 215 intrigues me. But if the steam continues to come in on Weidman here, we might get a better line on a Hall by KO. But again, it would be a very small sprinkle. Six Scott is thinking the only dog we'll probably get is Smith. I disagree. I think Roberson is a good spot too. Luke Fulton doesn't trust Weidman's chin. Me neither. All right, I'm going to start to catch up to the live chat as much as possible. Acai Fuel Montoya, I'm the only person on this planet on Andrade rather confidently. I love it. Those ones feel the greatest. Those ones definitely feel the greatest. So good luck to you, but not good luck. I like Valentina a lot here. You guys got a good discussion about Andrade and Shevchenko going on. Looks like SIE Field Mountaineer is just playing the numbers here, and I get it. Probability wise, I absolutely understand it. I'm not banging on anybody that's going to take a little bit of a shot on Andrade here. I think to maximize the value on Andrade here, like, could she win a decision? Actually, you know what? She could win a decision. Like, in my brain, the toughest time Shevchenko will have is if Andrade is truly stronger than her and can control her in the clinch. I think neither of those are true, but we'll see. Sex God thinks Andrade has the best chance out of all the three. I think it's Rose that has the best chance, but I'm glad that we're all seeing it a little bit differently. Yeah, Acai Field Mountaineer brings up the exact, like, I get this reasoning. He goes, Maya was able to take her down and control her for a round. Andrade is more explosive than her, and her hands will set up shots more. Um, that takedown was a weird takedown, though, right? It was actually a failed attempt on Val's part. Maya wasn't the one that initiated the clinch. Um, it was Valentina going for a takedown, and she messed up the takedown, and Maya capitalized by landing on top. And then after that, you see Valentina land the same takedown correctly, moving forward. Like, she didn't fuck up after that. Great fight though. Like, I know the odds are wide on all these fights, besides Usman and Masvidal, which I don't really care about. But the other two fights, I'm very intrigued. Like, odds may seem a little bit wide on both sides, but the fights are going to be sick. It's going to be competitive. I'm very behind on the chat here, so I'm just going to jump up to as close as I can. Big Bird asking, smoking that gas. It's 420, you know what I mean? Wangi77 Lock. Random question. Did it snow where you're at today? London got some snow. I better be warm tomorrow. It's like very little, like not too much. Nothing stuck to the ground. It was just in the sky. As soon as I hit the ground, it pretty much melted. But I heard we're supposed to get some snow tomorrow, and I'm not looking forward to that. Almost May, and we're still getting snow. Fuck that. Thankfully, I'm a homebody, so I don't really go out much. Guessing out wallpaper. Definitely wallpaper. The man room. It is. It's my studio / office. Wangi77 has the same poster. My wife actually wanted this room as like her she cave type of thing. And then originally I proposed that we split the room in half. I'll let her have the desk and then I can put my camera on the desk. And I did it for a little bit, if you guys remember early days. And then I completely took over the studio. When I added the second chair, like I only did maybe 1 or 2 episodes of the Lockcast with like our double setup. But then I just took it over and she was like, I get it. It's working out for you, clearly. Now she pretty much treats the bedroom a little bit like her office, which I'm fine with. I don't give a fuck. I got everything I need in here. Wangi77 is saying what she does, you guy. I was a huge Shogun guy. Shogun have had like 2 guys that brought me into the game. Interim view asking TJ or Corey. I'm picking Corey, but I'm not touching that fight, man. Like, if TJ is even like 90% close to what he used to be, that's a one-sided, not a one-sided fight. I'm sorry. That's a much more competitive fight than people are expecting it to be. Hence the odds stretching in Corey's favor, right? I'm not touching that fight. That is dynamite to touch. It could go absolutely both ways here. What bad can you really say about TJ other than he got popped? But what if he maintains a little bit of that? Close fucking fight. I gotta go Corey, but not bet that fight. No way. I'd consider the under 2.5. Do we have the line on that? It's a 5 rounder, right? Uh, not yet. Yeah, minus 160 for Corey. I thought it was like minus 140. He opened minus 170. Crazy. Yeah, I'm not touching those odds. I'd consider the under depending on what it's at. B Rosas, can you use to train or use to train BJJ? I haven't trained jiu-jitsu. I've mainly been a boxing guy. Like, I'll hit the bag. I just bought a bag the other month, but I'm trying to figure this shit out. I bought the Everlast like boxing stand, and it didn't come with chains or anything for the bag that I already had. So I bought a different chain, and it's too low. So I'm trying to figure out. I got to get those caliper things. I'm not exactly sure what they're called, but those metal clips that I got to be able to readjust the chain with. But I used to work at an MMA gym, um, and before my shift would start, I would normally take their boxing class or just hit the bag. There's a lot of downtime in between the afternoon and evening classes, and then I would start working there. But no, my in terms of me physically doing something martial arts based, strictly boxing. I want to eventually do jujitsu eventually, but boxing, my favorite form of cardio, which I can't wait to hop back on. Killer G saying, "Yeah, I'll see that Laura Sanko pick out on Twitter. It's crazy. She came out of almost nowhere in the last like 2 or 3 years and just took over the game. Like, I don't know. She nice." Somebody saying title predictions all three, and still, I agree. I agree. Matt Hudson, first place you want to try when the world opens up. When UFC events are like truly safe and like I don't know, this is not a vax or non-vax conversation. I'm not having that conversation. But when the majority of the world is vaccinated, I'd feel a little bit safer. But we'll see. But it would want to be a UFC event. That's the first place I want to travel. Then maybe Europe somewhere. Always wanted to do Europe. And now that I'm thinking about it, like, shit, it's going to be a possibility like very soon. Hopefully in the next 8-ish months. Speaking of which, like when the world opens up, me and my wife got married June 6th of last year. And that was like what, 2 months after COVID hit, 3 months after COVID hit. So it was pretty serious back then. So we just got a ceremonial wedding where it's just like me, my best man, her bridesmaid, and the fucking minister guy. And then we moved everything to this year. And now it's very close, right? We're like 5, 6 weeks away. But there's like interprovincial lockdowns or some shit. Her parents live in Saskatchewan, so we got to get them over. If they can't come, like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Like, there's no way we're having a wedding without our parents, right? So I might have to postpone it again. Fucking insane. But it's a work in progress right now. We're still trying to figure it out. Fuck, this COVID thing is crazy. And David Nardo saying, "Where's Alfred? Bring out the big dog." He's cuddling with the wife. He sleeps in the bed. He's small enough that he doesn't really make too much of an impact. And when you are cuddled up with him, dude is so warm. So yeah, he's in bed with the wife. Sammy saying favorite cards you've seen live. 217 was a sick one, man. 217 was where all three titles changed hands, right? Dillashaw knocked out Garbrandt. Rose knocked out Joanna. GSP beat Bisbing. That must have been a sick one. Um, UFC 194 was a big one for me. That was Connor Aldo. I have my ticket right there. UFC 121 was sick with Lesnar and Velasquez. Velasquez winning the title. Um, yeah, there's a lot of good ones. I was in Boston for Connor versus Siva right before Connor got his title shot. Yeah, there's been a lot of solid ones. Too many, man. I need to go. I miss it. Interview saying, "Thanks, bro. I've been around for about 2 months now, minus the time I was out of commission." Yeah, I hear you. Is that Clint? My guy Clint is in the chat. I'm running up some articles. Lock, serenade me with your voice talking that good MMA stuff to me. Your jokes. Die Hard is on. Chris minus 110, and we'll probably hedge Hall round 3. That is a good hedge. I like that hedge. Again, I'm not hedging myself, but I am probably going to look to play Hall by KO, depending on how crazy the line gets. Die Hard MMA podcast, bro. I thought Allen was the one. I was ready to lock and load, but now I'm kind of thinking Roberson's aside as this line gets wider. I like Roberson. I really like Roberson here. I believe you have him on your multi-event parlay, right? Like that's the tough thing about the multi-event parlays. Like unless you can truly get ahead and like tape these other spots, a lot of your picks are going to be pre-tape. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, minus 150. I'm gonna look at Roberson very closely, but I want to see his weigh-in. Right? What if he misses weight? That's another thing we got to worry about. Literally, the two weight misses that happened in this last event affected my picks. My lock of the night, Tracy Cortez. Thankfully, she still won, and Zara Farn, who gets booted off. Andre Luck, would you be surprised if Usman's ego got him punished? He may try. I don't think he's going to stand with this guy. There's no way. There's no way he stands with him. There's too much riding on it for him. Interview saying followed over odds channel where I first saw your content. Nice. Now, pretty much everything that you saw at odds MMA wise, or at least the things that I was involved with, it's on my channel now. So Thursday night, propping you up, me and Cody, and Friday I have a rotating guest panel of guests coming on to do my Friday night 9 p.m. show. This week, heavy hitters, Daily Fan MMA. We got Brett Apley, we got Dan Levy from Best Fight Picks / Half the Battle, and then we got Cody making back-to-back night appearances on my channel. So things are going well. Things are going well. Sammy saying the Saturday watch party was the most degenerate shit I've ever seen, but loved every second of it. You guys are crazy. Valentina head kick finish saying ground and pound and finish. I just hope they win, man. I don't even care how, just win. Jake C, what card is better, 261 or 262? Let's take a look at what UFC 262 has. 62 is the one in Houston, right? Yeah, Houston. Oliveira, Chandler, great fight. Edwards, Diaz, whatever fight, but we got name value. Chukagian versus Arujo, that's a great fight. Ferguson, Dariush, great fight. Burgos, Barboza, great fight. Jacare Muniz, solid fight. Hermanson, Shabazian, Perez, Chanel, Lee, Shevchenko, Venata, Grandi, fucking Ninja, whatever the kid's name is, Beverly Hills Ninja, Jordan Wright versus Jamie Pickett, the return of Ismagulov versus Rafael Alves, Gina Mazzani versus Cachoeira for your dumpster fire of the night, Kevin Aguilar versus Tucker Lutz. Lutz looked intriguing on the contender series. And then the return of Joel Alvarez against Christos Yagos. Man, I think this card might be better. I think 262 might be better than 261. Like, I truly think 262 is top heavy. Like, the three title fights, all intriguing. Masvidal fight, not as much. But then Hall, Weidman, Smith, Crute, it's like, okay, I'll take it. But then it drops off, right? Roberson versus Allen is a good fight, but like as a capper, you look into all these guys, and obviously every single fight is intriguing to you. But name value wise and excitement wise, there's so much more going on at 262. If you're going to 262, you're one lucky motherfucker. RT saying snowing pretty good in Midtown TO right now. Yeah, I was just burning outside, and it's nothing up here. Zara, Locky Late Night, I love Shabazian to make a run. Thoughts? It's going to be tough to get past Hermanson, man. Hermanson is tough to put away, and he has good cardio. Might be able to grapple fuck Eddie or Leon. Sorry, Ed. What's his fucking Edmund Shabazian? Goddamn, I kept thinking about his brother. Soki B saying I'm doing a bunch of 2 or 3 leg parlays. You got any parlays planned? Steve by day, end up by night. I have 2 parlays closing. One has Shevchenko, Usman, and Zhang, and the other has Strickland and Prohaska for next week. So if you want to take some of those, go for it. That was all pre-tape when I made those as well. Chris Lou reminded you guys to hit that like, please do. Timothy Topfer saying, "Who do I have to win the Bellator Light Heavyweight tournament?" If we got the Vadim Nemkov that we got in the Phil Davis fight, I think Vadim's got this. I have a future bet on him. I put like $35 on him for the fuck of it at plus 180 or plus 190. So I'm kind of rooting for him, even though I bet against him last time. Average Joe saying thoughts on Volkov versus God. I kind of like Volkov as a dog. I'd have to agree. Let's see. The odds are. It's ever so slight. Like, give me a little bit meat on that bone, and I'd take it. And I think we'll get there. I think a lot of people are high on Gun, myself included, but Volkov is a very good test for him. Shawnee Mack in the chat. Happy Fight Week to you, sir. Bradsky, got that late night R&B radio host going on. Hello, ladies. This is Late Night Locky, bringing you nothing but sweet love. It sounds. What up, my dude? What's going on? I used to do a college radio show at night at like 11, I think on Sundays, I think it was, or even Saturdays. I forgot what it was. Probably not Saturdays because I would go out and club and shit, but I think it was Sundays. And I'd do that. I'd have like R&B nights. Fucking, yeah. And then I got into the MMA show at the college radio. I don't know. It's fun. It's fun talking to you guys. So let's see. Interim view, you in the GTA? Yes, sir. Fender Jazz, I went 18-7 on events in 2020. I'm 9-1 lifetime in Bellator with less research compared to UFC, and I'm 8-8 on events in 2021. Too many props seem to sink me. Any thoughts? One thing that I'm always telling people to do is track your bets on betmma.tips. It is the best thing that you can do. Once you get enough of a sample size, you will see where you are strongest, and then you'll see where you're weakest, and then you exploit where you're strongest. And I mean that by like go a full year of betting what you think is right, like betting where you see there's value, betting where you see there's an edge. And then after a year or so, even if you want to take 6 months, but I don't think that's a big enough sample size, then you go back on Bet MMA tips. They have these crazy analytics that you can go over, and it'll show you what you're best at. And what I'm best at over the nearly 3.5 years that I've been tracking is my lock of the night play, which is why I'm hitting a lot of those right now. And I don't give a fuck what the public perception is, which was what initially got me off of it. What initially got me off this lock of the night thing was I want to, I just don't want to seek those chalky-ish plays, but the ones that I'm very sure about, I want to hit the, minus 140, minus 131. There's fucking Casey Kenny at minus 285 over Louis Smoka. That's the lock of the night. Minus 285. I don't mind paying juice on a guy like Casey Kenny against a guy like Louis Smoka. Don't mind. Because that's the lock of the night to me. I'm seeing people out here giving minus 120, minus 130 lock of the nights. That's like, I'm not saying that you don't have an edge in those circumstances, but like on the regular to be called, like, I remember somebody sent me a promotion from this guy. I can't remember what his Instagram, but he was an Instagram capper. And he said lock of the year on Abu Azaitar over Marc-Andre Barrios. There's a reason that line was lined where it was. And there's a reason that lock of the year didn't hit. Now I can tell you this. I'm pretty sure I hit a lock of the night play at night. And I'll tell you guys what it is right now. Which card was that? UFC 260. What was my lock of the night play at UFC 260? Oh, and I made many tips. Thank you. My lock of the night play was Omar Morales, minus 196. 5 units, $500 for me to win $255. That's the lock of the night play. All right, let's continue on. Hopefully that answers your questions. Get betmma.tips and start tracking there so that you can analyze yourself afterwards. Let's see. Okay, I really got to catch up here. Happy 420, Jason. What up, evil stuff? Timothy Topfer is saying, looking ahead to next week, do you think Yuri is rightfully favored over Reyes? It seems like Reyes is worth a short shot, though I like Yuri a lot too. I have a heavy lean towards Yuri Prohaska pre-tape, but that is definitely one of the fights I'm going to be looking to get into first when getting into that tape. But I like Yuri. I feel like that the power and unorthodox nature of his approach is going to catch Reyes off guard, right? Like, look what Blachowicz was able to do. And I'm not saying that they're the same fighter, but I feel like Yuri is more explosive. He'll be able to set up a little bit more with more power, with more speed, with more agility than Blachowicz. Should be able to knock him out. Like, Reyes is athletic and he's great and all, and he has some solid technique. I think he has better technique than Yuri, but like Yuri's like ability to turn up in fights. You know what I mean? I think that's gonna like his chaos, like Brandon Royval and like Brandon Moreno. When they create chaos, it may not be technical, but it's effective. And we've seen it work out from like when's the last time we've seen Volkan Ozdemir flatline? Not flatline, but like knocked out. It's been a long time since we've seen. I don't even think I'm trying to think off the top of my head right now. The last time somebody stopped Volkan via strikes. I know DC submitted him. 2 KO losses. Prohaska and Cormier. Okay, sorry. Cormier TKO'd him. I thought he subbed him. But Prohaska, the way that he dropped him on the feet and finished him there, crazy. Can Reyes handle that? I don't know. Bad news, man, is saying appreciate how consistent you've been doing a good job, man. I appreciate it, man. It's fun. It's great shooting the shit with you guys, building a viewer and seeing how far we can take Locky Late Night. I gotta turn down the signs, right? They're a little bit too bright. Whatever. I can dim this a little bit. Man, I really wish the UFC would come back to Canada for an event. Yeah, it's gonna be a while, bro. It's gonna be a while. Considering where we're at, if you guys live in the Toronto area, you know we're nowhere near to getting a fucking event. Gerald Lynch is saying, "Are you doing a weigh-in watch show this week?" I am. I have to confirm what time it is because they're back on the East Coast, so they might be doing it at 9 a.m. Eastern. Even if it is, I'll be doing it. Don't worry. I'll get up nice and early for you guys. I got to feed Alfred at 9 o'clock, so you guys can hear me feed Alfred while I'm doing it. But yeah, I'll be doing one. Andre Lima versus Amasov. Uh, I have no thoughts on that fight right now. I got to dust up on Amasov, but I know he's like 24-0. It's a crazy run to be on. And he's fought some solid dudes in Bellator. But Lima's the next level too, right? I'd like to see what the odds are for that fight. I don't think they're out. Damn it. You know. I'll talk a little bit more about it when we get some odds. Christian Rodriguez saying, do you like Ferguson as a dog? I think the under 2.5 in that fight would be most intriguing to me, which could be a trap. But if I can get a decent plus money on it, which I think we might, I'd rather take the under. I think Ferguson and Dariush creates violence, which should create a finish. But I'm questioning myself picking Ferguson as a dog. He's an old man. 177. I used to watch UFC. Got a cough. All right. Used to watch UFC at Bernie's before Boston Pizza became the spot. Bernie's was a lock if you got there early. You could get a poster good times. I remember Machida versus Evans as well. Yeah, that was a while ago. So you've definitely been a long time fan. When you're listening to the best of professional fighting, you're listening to Lock of the Night Radio. It's so weird. Christian Rodriguez, do you bet other sports or just MMA? Nah. I used to try to start taking NBA seriously last season, but with this whole COVID thing and just random pullouts, I'm good. MMA is more than enough for me. I'm just adding more promotions to my work, right? Like I'm doing Bellator now properly, and I'm gonna add LFA. Um, Maybe not this event, but the next event I'll probably do. So I'd rather add more promotions than other sports. These Lock Night plays are my fave. Minus 350. I don't care. I'll bridge jumper it. I think the highest I bet is a minus 275 during this run against Murtaz Aliyev or with Murtaz Aliyev, but he was in a parlay with Mahmoud Burkamov, I think the guy's name was. And the line was like minus 160, I think it was. I can't remember exactly. But then Burkamov missed weight, pulled out of the fight, and it was just minus 270. Then I had to push minus 265 on Leon Edwards. And then everything else has been better than minus 233. A lot of minus 190s, regardless. I know at the rate that I can hit, even according to my MMA or bet MMA analytics, I will long term profit. And that's what I'm going to stick to. Killer G, really glad I got your take on Lock Night Style because for a while I was constantly swayed off solid faves because they were square. Yeah, like it was truly a public perception for me, like that type of thing. That's when I gave a fuck. Now I don't. People are happy cashing tickets. I'm cashing tickets. There's a reason I have 316 Patreon members now. You know what I mean? I'm sure they appreciate and support the content, but I'm sure a good chunk of them are there to find out what the next Lock the Night play is. And that's what I wanted to do. And for $5 a month, given the current track record that I have, I feel it's more than fair. So yeah. I don't call you a square. If you're cashing tickets, if you're up $1,500 or whatever the fuck it is, it's all that matters. Sean O'Brien, happy for 20 lock. Who do you think Sugar's opponent will be for the Conor Poirier card? I think it's Munoz. I thought I saw some tweets saying it's Munoz. Teo took it. Usman Shevchenko in round 4, 5, or decision saying Hall Crute. Usman, okay. I like all of those. The Hall leg is a little bit iffy, but I like those. SIE Fueled Mountaineer, Future Parlay is Brown. That one's a little bit iffy to me. That's going to be a weird fight, but I could see how it plays out in Brown's favor. Crute, I like. Marab, I'm questionable about still. Giga, minus 205. 100 to 1,470. Not a bad parlay. To me, those are a little bit more iffy than other spots that I'm seeing, but we'll see. All right. Timothy Topher, Benitez, Strickland, Loma, 3-legger for next week looks good. Yeah. Those are heavy leans for me as well. I say you Field Mountaineer reminding me that Volkanen did win round 1 in that Jiri fight. Yeah, I got to watch that. I got dust up on it. All pre-tape for me. Keenan Homer Basic is saying, what chances would you say a parlay of Zhang, Valentino, Usman cashes? I like them. Like, I think it's a solid spot. I think the Zhang leg is the weakest of it, but I still think she cashes, which is why I put them on my big parlay. I give it some solid amount of chances. Wangi 77 saying breakfast with Alfie for the wins. Ken Knowles, bro, how wild is the COVID situation in Canada? I was listening to Zahabi and he said they passed a law line, please, to question civilians about where they're going. Yeah, they talked about that, but a lot of the police forces have been tweeting out and putting on Twitter that they're not going to do that. Like, unless it's absolutely obvious that they need to figure out what the fuck is going on, they're not going to impede on your rights to do that. So, yeah, they announced that, the government did, but a lot of the police forces are like, respect it and we'll respect you. Jacksonville Zoe in the chat. What's going on, my guy? I think you're a first timer here. I do appreciate you stopping by. Mr. Bubbles is asking how many of the 5 rounders go the distance. I say at least the Shevchenko and Usman ones. I think we can see a finish in the Zhang one. Ken Noah says wrong crew champions parlay plus 385. I need to find out more about wrong before I'm willing to put the chalk on him. Kayla G is saying, yo, how do I get my girl's ring size? She doesn't want rings, need to lock her down since she's been watching UFC with me every Saturday for a while now. Just find a ring that you, yeah, that's fucked. I don't know. I don't know. Like my girl, like told me what her ring size was because she was kind of suspecting it, but that's dope. You'll figure it out, man. Trust me. Alex Ramirez in the chat. What's going on, my guy? Noah Allen saying Arcadome raid. Wangy 77, I've been taking breaks here and there, but I watched most of the early Ultimate Fighters with my dad, then continued watching one with Cheetah, GSP, but I got back into it with Khabib and Connor. Yeah. For me, once I got into it, just balls deep, like right away, like UFC 192-ish. And then I went back and watched all their stuff. Sean O'Brien said Sugar said on Twitch he's been offered an unranked opponent. Interesting. So it's not Pedro. Joshua Bloor, how would you cap Toa Vittori? I placed a bet on Vittori pre-tape in one of my long shot parlays, but I think he's just more physical than Till. And I honestly believe that Till is slightly overrated. CG Hustle, what's up, my man? Happy 420. Thank you. Big fan of the show. What do you think about Krut Usman Shevchenko parlay? I like it. I like it. I will say I feel slightly safer with Krut than I would Zhang, which is like the parlay a lot of people have been going with, is the Champions parlay. I think Zhang is the weakest link, and I feel more confident in Krut than I do in Zhang. Andre, the later rounds are what scared me off. Rose, Andrade really started putting it on her late. Yeah, that was only a 3-rounder. Do you know of any serious communities for MMA betting writers to a casual and sure dog has a few good uses, but is hit or miss? Twitter, man. There's a solid community on Twitter. If you hop on Twitter, you will enjoy your time there, I promise. How are we feeling about including Grant in a parlay? Nah. Guy's just been so inconsistent, low volume. I think he needs to rely on a knockout to win this fight. I think Sekulic is slightly more volume, but that guy's been out for a long time too, right? I wouldn't touch Grant in a parlay personally. I think he wins, don't get me wrong. But like coming from a guy that doesn't like betting every single fight like most degenerates, I'm not betting that fight. Club plus 170 versus Giga is a steal. I'm not sure about that. Pre-tape. But Giga is the real deal. Killer G, more with less, get yourself on the Patreon or the Discord for a serious community. Shout out to Killer G doing a promo for your boy. Justin Crookshank in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. Ben Peak races good kicks to slow Prohaska's movement. I'm not very high on Prohaska cardio. Fuck. I hope he gets it done early then. Masvidal wins round one is plus 1,000. If you have any hope for Masvidal, that's not a bad shot. Hammering a hog. I apologize, but I don't want to talk about that dude. I'm done talking about him. It's over. Yeah. Just go on Twitter, search his name or his handle, and you'll figure it all out. That's all I'm going to say. Nabana Khan, about her favorites way more than UFC. Yeah, they've been hitting heavy. Jacksonville Zoe, Valentino Usman has to be the number one parlay this week. Hard to see either of them losing. Yeah. Like if you can get better than minus 120 on that or minus 200 on that parlay, I think it's a good shot. Just saying. B Rose, anybody excited for new season of Tough? Definitely not. Mr. Bubble is Iori or Molina, but no real confidence because I don't know too much. I've done the tape on Iori or whatever the fuck his name is, Kinlang, I think. Um, Not enough juice on the bone for me to pick a side there confidently enough to actually bet it. So, not touching that fight. Tio took it. I have Usman all day. But what do you think of the chance Masvidal catches Usman and finishes him? It's MMA, right? Like we've seen crazier shit. But I'm confident in Usman's chin, his durability, and his approach that he should be able to beat Masvidal the same way. Wangi77 wants to see Stevens close again. Yeah, that would be nice. With the added rivalry now? Hell yeah. Naban Khan, Weidman, Hall is going the distance, possibly. I think Hall could absolutely knock him out. Stephen Peck, packed summer upcoming for MMA, UFC Contender Series, tough, PFL, Bellator, among others. Yeah, that's a lot of shit. I'll only be betting on UFC, Bellator, and LFA. That's going to be my focus. CG Hustle, yeah, that Zhang Rose fight scares me. I think Rose has a real shot on that one. I agree. Joshua Bloor, thoughts on Romanov versus Espino? Shit show, right? Have I lost a little bit of respect for Romanov? Yeah. Do I want to see the rematch? Yeah. Am I going to bet Romanov again? No. I didn't officially bet him, but I'd like put him in a couple parlays. I'm not touching that fight anymore. I think Usman might try to flex his jab and get caught. I'm hoping more than in predicting, though, Usman could win, could and should wrestle fuck him. Yeah. Usman doesn't strike me as a guy that wants to test you at your own game. So, yeah. I think he's going to play it as safe as possible. Ben, walk into chat. What's going on? I can't believe we got 63 people in here. Please do hit that like if you would. So, I'm not even sure what that phrase is, but you guys know what I mean. If you would be so inclined. Christian Rodriguez, I see at least one title changing hands this weekend. Could. I think if anybody, it would be Rose, but that's about it. Finesca God is so excited for this weekend. Yeah, me too. It's a solid card. Very good card. Not as good as 262. Still a good card. Asai Fuel Mountaineer, I didn't hear you take on the Cortez fight. When it ended, did you confidently think she won? I thought the knockdown, per se, like the strike that she got landed on that like put her off balance, I think that may have swayed in the judges' minds a little bit too much. And I was concerned about that. But I thought that she did a good job of winning the majority of that fight. Even on the feet, like she was landing some good shots. But I will admit I was not confident that she would get the nod, concerning how weird the judging has been as well. That was a sweat, bro. That was a fucking sweat. Also, shout out to my guy Soy Boy, Connor Rideout. I did a Combatosaurus episode with him, so if you guys search Connor Rideout on Twitter with Combatosaurus, you'll see my interview with him. I think we talked for about an hour and a half. Can't remember if we drank or not. I think we burned for sure, but yeah, if you guys remember the old school Combatosaurus episodes from early in 2020, when I started in January of 2020, and then by March I was like, yeah, I can't do this thing due to COVID anymore. That was a fun time. Had some good guests, had some good drinks, some good laughs. It was a great episode with Cody on it too. We got shit faced and like talked for like 3 hours, just random shit. I'd highly suggest you guys check that out. But yeah. Killer G, Close going to be out for a year with that whiplash. I'll have my money on Stevens on pure principle if they book it. You think he's really going to be out that long? I don't think it'll be that long. Wangi 77, hit that like and hit that, you know. Killer G saying, don't overthink the Usman fight, guys. Guy has a great fight IQ and great weight coach, and that will have a great crafted plan for him. Exactly. I think he is, like, if he continues to defend his title, hopefully against, not guys like Nate Diaz or fucking Jorge Masvidal. If he beats Colby again, if he has another couple successful fights, he could be GOAT. And that's all due to respect to GSP. GSP is my guy. But Usman is so complete. So complete. Justin Cruikshank got locked in the champ parlay for minus 115. Wangi 77, thoughts on Penne fight last week? Not pretty by any means. I didn't. I didn't watch it again, nor do I have any interest in watching again. I don't know if it was a robbery. I don't think I was paying attention to that fight that closely, nor do I give a fuck because I pretty much skipped out on that fight all in all. Asai Field Montano had Espino, then Munoz, and then Cortez. I feel like Espino Munoz won and Cortez lost 29-28. Personally, I had her up. I thought she at worst it was 29-28 Cortez. But, I get the bounce this way. Who knows how it goes next time? Jacksonville Zoe, I think Rose's only chance is to stay at range. As long as Zhang works the clinch, she is much stronger than Rose. Do you agree? It's for me, it's the entries of Rose. Like when she comes in and tries to get her strikes off, Zhang does a good job of like holding her position, standing her ground, and throwing a just as vicious of a combination in return. That's where I think Zhang is going to get her best work. And then the leg kicks from the outside. If she wraps up with her, she could be the stronger woman. But I'd be surprised if you see Zhang actually take this fight to the ground. Rose is really crafty with the jiu-jitsu, if you guys remember. We haven't seen it in a while because most of our fights have been striking contests. But yeah, watch like pre-Joanna fights. There's a lot of jiu-jitsu and she's very crafty. So yeah, I think Zhang clinch definitely her spot. Trading in the pocket counters and then landing the bigger shots. That's how I see Zhang winning this fight. Possibly knocking her out in round 3 or round 4 as well. The interim view, do you think Rumble versus Romero delivers? I don't, and I hate to admit that. I don't think it delivers. I'll still watch it, of course, but crazy. Mark T, Rose, Dragon Politics is the pre-fight hype. Not a good look. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I give no fucks to that. Chris Crews, 68, 8 weeks injury time for close. Ouch. Who bet Malcolm last week? Press 1, no lying. That was a good hit. That was a good hit. Viewers, I forgot Whitman and both Usman and Rose corner that night. Good point. And they're back-to-back fights. Well, at least Rose will have Whitman regardless. It's going to matter who's with Usman before he has to go out. Joshua Bloor early lean on Riddell and Dober. I'd say Riddell, surprisingly. I'd like to see the odds there. Wangi 77 fair play. Locky was definitely the go to the bathroom fight. Yeah. Look up the recovery time for their injury. It's 6 to 8 weeks generally. That would really suck, man. That would really suck if it got pushed back that far. Naban Khan is saying Connor sold proper to well, but still is the face of the brand. If there are any changes he should make to focus more on training, it would be this. He's clearly hearing all the criticisms. I don't know, man. I think he's still going to be approaching it the same way. I don't like reading into narratives like that too much. I get where you're coming from, though. Killer G, that's true. Beavers will wonder if Whitman spending his time with Usman and Rose will be a disadvantage for Rose since he usually only focuses on one fighter. That's true. That's true. SIU Field Mountaineer. I know Gillespie is your guy. Thoughts on his fight with Diego? Definitely a tougher fight than Riddell. I still lean Gillespie. Me too. I still lean Gillespie. Diego's savage on the feet, but I don't see him being able to stop the takedowns. I'd like to see the odds on that fight too. Stephen Peck, Wonderboy getting a title shot if he beats Gilbert. I'm down. Like Wonderboy is the one threat at 170 that I haven't really considered for Usman. And people might laugh at that, but the guy has a weird style, man. Like look at his record too. The guy is a solid fighter still. His record is crazy. Like early loss to Matt Brown, and then from there, KO'd 4 guys en route to a title shot. Then he gets the draw. Then he gets the weird, like the Woodley fights were just weird. Both guys were scared of each other's counters. They barely threw when they did. Unfortunately, Wonder Boy was on the bad end of it. But those fights, we can all agree, never happened. Other pieces of Jorge Masvidal for 3 rounds. Typical Wonder Boy performance. Darren Till, very close fight. Probably deserved to win that fight. goes out there, gets knocked out by Anthony Pettis in a fight that he's winning 99% of. It's fine. And then, yeah, racking up wins over Vicente Luque and Jeff Neal over 5 rounds. Yeah, if he goes out there and beats Gilbert Burns, give this man a title shot. I believe Colby is next. Let Colby fight Usman after Usman wins, and then one boy in line next if he beats Gilbert. Fender Jazz, thoughts on judging and how the situation could be improved. I feel like I'm having a stroke watching some of these decisions this year. There's nothing we can do. Like at this point, like I'm down for open scoring. That should at least give a fighter who believes he is wrongfully down the chance to not cruise around 3 or know that he has to go for a finish around 3. Now that would completely destroy the live betting market. But, we might see more out of whack lines now that I'm thinking about it. Like if a fighter's up 2-0 going into the third and we all know it, then we have to depend on their cardio. Is the dog shot worth on the guy who only has 5 minutes to potentially win this fight? I'm a proponent of open scoring. I'm down for open scoring. Jacksonville Zoe, yeah, I do not want Zhang on the ground for sure. I would love to see a rematch with Joanna at some point. I thought Joanna beat Zhang. Yeah, that was a close fight, man. Obviously, Joanna was wearing it a lot more. But yeah, I'd be down. I've seen a lot of people say that Joanna doesn't deserve an immediate rematch. I absolutely disagree. When you have a case for beating the champ, right? It was a split decision. I believe it was a split decision. Give it the rematch. It was a close fight. And a hell of a fight. I was betting Stevens on that too. Smack my fucking head. Almost proof he would have won if he did shoved it that. Think any disciplinary action will go down. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really been following that story, to be honest. Stevens is a quick question. Yeah, you fucked me too there. Wangi 77, these decisions in the last few cards have been ridiculously inconsistent. I can see if they're wrong, but they are all over the place. Yeah, there is no consistency. Chris Grieve, what decision did you not agree with? There's a couple over the last weeks, no? You need to do deciding splits again. That will definitely help. I thought the Cortez split was right. I gotta watch Peña Munoz again, but I remember that one being very close. I do agree that Espino probably should have won. I gotta watch the Godinez fight again. I can't truthfully score that one. Even Bud Silva, right? So there's been a couple loopy ones recently. Abu Dhabi, what's the biggest way cappers earn money without going tout? And when did you think it was time to ditch your paycheck job and go full-time YouTuber tout? Again, I hate calling myself tout, but I do fall into that category, right? I call myself a semi-tout. Like, you pay $5 a month to get access to my Patreon, which gives you all my picks, gives you, a best bets and props article, gives you early access to the breakdowns, gets you a Discord community, gets you a little extra content, right? So people are supporting me through my content that I'm providing, as well as finding out what my picks are. But even when I'm not selling my picks and I've hit my loss, once I hit a loss, then I go 3 events free until I hit 3 straight events. Then I go back to Patreon. So the Patreon is definitely a big part of it. There's a YouTube ad revenue. There's obviously I have a couple other businesses that I'm doing, like Tape Index and stuff. It's just diversifying as much as possible and just opening up as many different income avenues as possible. And it sounds like I'm making it sound easy. It's not. I'm living a very efficient lifestyle right now. But I see the growth and the potential in this MMA Lock of the Night brand, which is I'm like, everything's only positive. It keeps going up. Even when I'm losing, subscribers go up. Followers go up. Everything is moving in the right direction. So I finally got to the point where I'm making enough of off of my concrete income, not my betting winnings. And then I'm like, okay, I saved up enough money, pretty much working two jobs, right? I was working my 9 to 5, saved up, I was getting two paychecks pretty much from this MMA stuff and that stuff. So I saved up a good chunk of money as well. That's pretty much carrying me through, and it's working out. Like, I took the risk, it's working out. I have a very supportive wife as well who, she's making decent money as well, but it's not like she's paying all the bills and stuff. Bills are still the same. I pay for what I pay for. She pays what she pays for. But it's like, it took like 4 years, guy. Like 4 years it took. Sorry, didn't mean to call you guy, but like, sorry. It took 4 years to get to this spot. So it's a lot of work, a lot of late nights. Christian Rodriguez saying Zurong looks like a good lock of the week. I don't completely agree. We need to see him against UFC competition first before we start to rate this guy. More with less is saying Gillespie's minus 200 versus Fajeda. I'd probably stay away from that, but I'd have to see what else is on the card before I don't consider it anymore. Bets Jossie is saying would love to see 0.5 increments adding to scoring. What I would like to see, and it's almost a similar thing, is just put the 10-8 to use a little bit more. When a round is like clear as day, even if there's not a ton of damage done in it, give it a 10-8 compared to the much closer rounds where like the guy just edges it by a combination or something, by a takedown. If it's that close of a round, then give it a 10-9. CG Hustler is saying they should have done Jorge Colby first or Burns. I would have been all for Jorge Colby, especially as for the Ultimate Fighter. That would have been dope. And then let Usman fight whoever's next in line at 170. Wonder Boy. Pepe Silva, Joanna versus Dern is the fight to make before next title shot, in my opinion. Just give her the next shot. Honestly. Yeah, Stefan Pack, the Jordan Griffin decision was an absolute mockery. Yeah, the reason it didn't catch my eye is because it was a unanimous decision. A unanimous decision robbery is the worst robbery. Interim view saying thoughts on Verdict MMA partnering with PFL to bring in live scoring. That's sick. That would be sick. I think it's more so just to get in, let the crowd know what the idea is and what the fans think how the fight should be scored. I don't think it's going to impact the fight directly, but it's a cool graphic that they're going to be starting to add. Shout out to Verdict. Shout out to Verdict. Chris Greaves saying live scoring still doesn't fix the fact that the UFC has a lot of shitty judges. I agree, but I'm saying at least with open scoring, you'll be able to control your fate a little bit more rather than leaving it up to just chance. Like, I mean, knowing that you're down or knowing that it's 1-1 going to the third round. I think the fighters would want to know that information, no? They always ask. Most fighters, first thing they ask, did I win that round? Now you have confirmation. Fender Jazz, I feel the 10-point must system just doesn't work for a lot of MMA fights, even with the more generous 10-8s. I think one has the best approach in that regard. Yeah, they judge it as a whole fight, right? I like giving it rounds. I'm a proponent of the rounds thing. But let's just be more generous with 10-8s. Naban Khan saying, who remembers when Kamaru was plus money against Woodley? Me. I hit that shit. I hit that shit. That was a dog of the night play. Easy. Manuel Galarza and Usman would more than likely be a boring ground and pound and 1-1 stab, but Masvidal opposite KO would be must-see TV. The Covington talk would heat up, not to mention a trilogy. I don't know what it is. I'm not as much of a Masvidal fan anymore. I just want to see Usman continue his streak, continue his, his rise, cement his legacy. The guy's a once-in-a-lifetime talent, honestly. The guy is so good. I would rather do Masvidal Covington after Covington loses to Usman again, which is one of the more competitive fights you'll ever have. But we'll see what happens with Wonderboy as well. Mr. Always 420. I didn't think I wasn't going to make an appearance. Always 420. Of course. I appreciate you, buddy. B Rizzle. Sorry. Mr. Always 420. Knowing Locky Late Night personally, I can say this man puts more work than anyone I know. So happy for all your success. I appreciate the love, my guy. I appreciate it. Green King 220. It was weird. There was talk of Covington versus Masvidal Ultimate Fighter, but completely fell through. I wish they followed through with that, man. I wish they did. That would have been fire. Don't give a fuck about Whitaker and fucking Volkanovski and Ortega. Do not give a shit. That shit would have been crazy. I know. Naban Khan, what was an underdog you couldn't believe was not a favorite for me? It was Whitaker against Cannonier. An underdog you couldn't believe was not a favorite. For me, it was the Stipe and DC fight the first time they fought. And I feel like that night was false confirmation. Like he cashed for me big that night. And then I bet him big the next two times out and he fell flat. So, maybe I got lucky that night. And the other one was Glover versus, who did he fight? He smashed Anthony Smith. And then he had one more fight where he smashed his opponent, Thiago Santos. That one stunned me, especially the fact it was like plus 200, plus whatever the fuck it was at. Those are the last two that truly come to mind for me. More with less is saying, is that your dealer? He is not my dealer. That's my boy, Jim O'Soon. Wongi 77 block is Mr. Dedication 100%. I appreciate it, man. Killer G, if Masvidal gets a fluke KO, I think we can get dog odds on Colby. I would smash that line. No way. No way. I'd be stunned if we got dog odds on Colby. Usman, Colby. I will more than likely always bet one of those two guys against whoever the fuck they put in front of them. Jared Lynch, if you're hanging here, you should at least hit the like. Yes. Please do. 42 likes. Let's see if I can get to 100. If I can get to 100 likes, then I'll hop off the stream. Probably not. No, I'm not going to follow through with that. What am I? I'm baked. Obviously, what the fuck am I talking about? We're hovering around 62 people here, and I'm not going to keep reminding people to hit the like. But we'll see how close we can get before I get tired of this shit. I don't know how much longer I'll spend. Maybe 10 more minutes. We'll see. It's 1:20 a.m. Wangi 77, Santos. Yep. Yeah, Santos is the one. Kutalaba one, he still pulled off. But yeah, it was the Santos one where he was a crazy underdog and hit that shit. Yeah. Cash on Glover both times. Ooh. There is a fucking centipede or some shit that just ran under me. That was creepy as fuck. I hate bugs, hate spiders. I can kill them, but God, that tripped me the fuck out just now. Not a good time, Mr. Spider. Ugh, it's somewhere around now. God damn. Greek King 220. I'm with you, Lock. I'm off. Master, I actually hope he ends up having to face Leon Edwards. That is another intriguing fight, right? Leon Edwards is still hanging around out there. Shout out to Leon Edwards taking the money fight. Hopefully he's getting paid a little bit more to fight Nate Diaz. Jake C, I love Colby, but he's so damn inactive. Yeah, he's really picking his spots. Beavers will saying kill that shit, bro. I don't know where the fuck it went. It was fast. Ugh. More with less. Magny is a plus 200 dog against Jeff Neal. I am completely blanking on that fight. Ooh, it's because that fight hasn't happened yet. May 8th. If Magny's plus 200 there, that's intriguing to me. Magny is somewhat of a reliable underdog. And he could give fits to Jeff Neal with his style. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, more with less. Jacoby versus Kutalaba is interesting. Yeah, I lean Kutalaba there, but crazy fight. Makes sense to me. He didn't show up against Chiesa. Yeah, that was bad. I think he can still rebound and have a good performance. John Jones or Francis Ngannou, if they fight, don't really care about that fight, to be honest, right now. I'd say Ngannou. Low Magny look like trash against Kiss. I'll never bet that guy ever again. I disagree, man. I think he could. I still think he has a solid style that could beat a guy like Jeff Neal. Now think about it. How did Chiesa beat him? He out grappled him. Jeff Neal's a striker. Last time Magny fought a hot up and coming striker, Li Jing Liang, completely shut that guy down. I don't mind the small shot on Magny as a plus 200 dog. Killer G said, hope y'all hit Leon Edwards minus 420 on 420. Green King sees it like I do. Ken knows if he's plus 200, I have at least 2 units on Magny. Stiff and pack, Magny Smoke Li Jing Liang as a sizable dog. Yep, I cashed that night. This might be another one where we get a big Magny dog. Wongi 77, I think so too, especially because he can clinch or wrestle Neal, but Neal has the power, yeah. But does Magny have chin issues? He got knocked out by Santiago Ponzinibbio. Okay. He got elbowed by Lorenz Larkin. That was a weird fight where Lorenz just lit his legs up and then followed up at the end with elbows and finished him. Yeah, I don't know. I feel as though Magny could stifle him. Canola's Neal Canto won't grapple fuck him like Mike. Yes, exactly. Mr. Always 420 Anthony Press minus 714 on Bet 365 for Friday night. That's crazy. Clay Colliner is a solid boxer. But yeah, I'm not betting PFO. B Rizzo, Neal future champion, Magny, no. Like it's almost like Wonder Boy. Magny's almost like Wonder Boy in the aspect that they might not ever become champion, but they're really good at stifling up and comers. Sometimes up and comers get past them, like Darren Till and like Michael Chiesa, but then they stop some guys, like possibly Jeff Neal, just like Wonder Boy did last time. Now it's Magny's turn to stop him. Again, this is all pre-tape. Wongi 77, I would say he has a good chin for the most part and fairly good striking defense. Yep. Beavers, I like Magny, but not in this one. Wongi 77, I like him in this spot more than others, to be honest. He looked lost in some spots in that Chiesa fight. Yeah. Now that he doesn't have to worry about the grappling disadvantage he's going to be at, he just has to worry about tying up on a guy and wearing on him and slowing him down. And he only needs to do it for 3 rounds. Only 2 survive the other one. I don't know. Killer G, great stream as always, Locke. See you on the flip. Let's cast this weekend. And still, I hope so. All right, I'm going to get the fuck up out of here. Maybe watch an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I just found out is on Disney Plus, and I kind of fell off of after I think season 6 or 7, but love the show, so I'm going to start it again. Yeah, I'm going to watch an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And then, yeah, get some sleep and pump out content tomorrow. Pump. Let's see what you guys are saying. Chris Grieve, I don't see it. Not a fan backing guys with no power. I can see Magny controlling Neal. It's so weird. Neal, Magny, Jeff Neal, Magny. Such a trip. I have a great question in the stream. Favorite Bruce intro? Those don't really stand out to me. I don't really have one that comes to mind, to be honest. Look, do you just do picks? I do obviously the streams. I do full card breakdowns. I do a bunch of different shows. Just check the channel. There's so many different things that I do. And then the Patreon. Shout out to the Patreon members. Patreon.com/MMALOTN. The link is in the description below. $5 a month. All access to my picks, best bets and props article, early access to the breakdowns, Discord community, pay-per-view parlay for the patrons, which I completely forgot is this week. I got to put 5% of what I make off of Patreon on a parlay chosen upon by the patrons. And if the parlay hits, I pay out the winnings to a random patrons. So thank you guys for reminding me for even doing that. So I've got to put that survey together for the patrons so we can find out what they're going to be getting. And the amount I will be putting on that parlay is oh look, we grew another 2 patrons while I was doing the stream. So you guys should join the stream as well. So 70, I'll round it up to $75. I'm gonna put $75 on a parlay of the patrons choosing, and the winner get a random winner is gonna get that paid out. All right. Oh, Lucaro, oh no, like was this stream your UFC picks? No. This is just a talk shit. Happy 420. If you want to see my picks, I did a stream earlier today called the MMA Lockcast Live. Just check my channel, and I go through the full card there. Thanks for stopping by, Brie Rizzo. I appreciate it. Chris Grieve letting the guys know. Thank you. SB Rounder watching via YouTube. What's your YouTube name? Pretty much the same as my Twitter. MMALOTN. You'll find my channel. Lucar, I appreciate your analysis. I appreciate your support. Greg here asking what the locks are. Got to find out on the Patreon, my guy. I apologize. 9-5 winning streak? Yeah, it's definitely behind the $5 a month Patreon page. Green King enjoying the content. I appreciate you, my guy. A is stopping by to say, hey, buddy. Chris Crew saying, best MMA content on YouTube, in my opinion. God damn. That's high praise. I don't think that highly of myself, but I appreciate it. Interim viewers subscribing now. I appreciate it, my guy. Greg here, women champ 17 and Crute. I like it. Luke R knows what's up. Wackest trainer between Tim Ouch and Jay Leon Love. That'd be hilarious if they did a celebrity boxing match or celebrity, D-list celebrity. Luke R, I'm not on your Patreon, but I watch your show on YouTube. That's more than enough for me. I'm never going to hound people for to join the Patreon. I'll always shout it out, but I never expect it. As long as you watch the videos, the least you can do is like the video, and that's all I ask. That's more than enough support for me, so I truly appreciate it. All right, it's 1:30. I'm out of here. Appreciate you guys stopping by. No stream tomorrow. Content drop it on Patreon, and then Thursday I'm back live streaming twice a day for the next 2.5 days. See you guys Thursday. Appreciate it.